Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. And if you continue watching, thank you, appreciate it. Just remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share it with all your buddies. You know, there's some good content on here. So right now we're gonna be doing, it's not too bad of a project. It's an 03 Nissan Sentra, and we ended up getting the radiator in. So there it is, leaning right against the car. So we're gonna end up replacing the radiator, and I also got some bushings for it. So hopefully it doesn't rattle and break again. All right, so we'll get to it. All right, so first things first, we need to drain the coolant out of it. Let's see if I can get a good view. So right there, I've already loosened it up a little bit, but this tab right here will actually drain the fluid. So I'm going to just drain it from right there, and as soon as we get it all drained, then we can start disassembling everything and go from there. Alright, so now that we got the radiator drained, we're going to take off these brackets on both sides, and they're going to be a 10mm bolt. So just take these off. Alright, now these should come off fairly easy. Just pull them off, set them aside, and now you got free access to the radiator. But now what we'll need to do is disconnect our upper and lower radiator hose, and then we got our overfill tube. We'll just take that off, and then with these electric fans, so what we'll end up doing is undo the clip on it, and then where this wire goes across is zip tied in. We'll just take those off, and then the fans and the radiator will all come out in one piece. And just set the hoses aside. All right, so for these radiator hoses, you can either use a flathead on it, or you can use an 8mm. I'm gonna go with the 8mm. Be a little bit quicker. And then as I take off the hose, I'm gonna twist it and pull at the same time. And then looks like that bottom one is going to be a clamp as well. So just grab your pliers. Alright, then once you get that clamp off, just same principle. Grab your hose, twist it, and pull at the same time. And yeah, you're going to get a little bit of coolant coming out of that hose. Other than that, it's actually not too bad. Now we need to get these unclipped. Alright, once you get those clips off the fans. Okay, so now that we have the clips off, see them right here, they're just a little push button on the top of them. Just go through them where that wiring harness is for the fans. Just unclip them from the radiator. Just grab a flathead, and then just move that whole wiring harness off to the side. Alright, so trying to pull out the radiator, run into a little issue with this fuse box. And this one actually has 2 clips on the back side of it. See if you can get those pushed in. And once that's off, you actually have a little bit of movement on where this can go. And we're going to see if we can get it out of the way so we can get that fan pulled up. Alright, so now that we have the fan out of the way, you do have some rubber bushings on the very bottom. Make sure those are still intact and in place. This one was on the bottom of the radiator, so make sure you check your radiator. Just pop those back in place. Alright, so now that you got your radiator pulled out, we're gonna have to take the fans off. And the bottom of the fan just slides into these slots right here. There's your lower radiator hose connection. That's your drain. So what we'll have to do is take off that bolt and that bolt. And that's gonna be a 10 millimeter.
You can't not turn this thing on.
Alright, that bolt just broke off. Not a good sign. Just go nice and easy. And that one broke off as well. So it looks like we'll have to pick up 2 bolts. It's a good thing we're not using this radiator again. It's junk anyways.
Oh, there it is. Right there.
Alright, so now that that's off, you can see the old radiator. The fan comes off in a complete assembly. Alright, so with that radiator, you got the fan shroud, the fans. All you're going to do is just slide these into the slots on the new radiator. Once it gets slid in, then you got your points for the bolts to go in and hold on the fan and the shroud at the same time. Alright, so now that you got everything put together, you're going to have to try and fish it all back in. It's going to be the fun part. And then just make sure you get the bottom of the radiator into those rubber grommets. Go. So now we can start hooking up the bottom radiator hose. Alright, so here's the bottom radiator hose. I just slid it on, and here's that clamp. You can see you have to pinch it together to get it on. So I'm going to set this back up, finish putting that on. Going to make sure that drain plug, which is right there, make sure that's closed off. And then I'm gonna hook up the wiring harness to both these fans, which are right there. And then I'm gonna put the top radiator support in there and finish hooking up that top hose, and we'll go from there. Alright, so now that we have the radiator in, the bottom bushings are in, now we just need to get the top ones. We got to take out these old ones because they're all cracked and broke. And with these new ones, they should just slide in. Just like that. And then they will go over. Just like that. And anytime you do a radiator, always check your mounts. If they're gone, just replace them. It'll save you in the long run. So now we'll put these bolts in. Let's grab our ratchet. Up. Run this underneath and re-clip where those mounts go. Clip in your radiator. And as long as you buy a radiator that is compatible with your car, everything should bolt right back in and clip back in, just like that. So now what we'll do is we'll fill it up with some coolant and go from there. Make sure to reattach all your boxes if you had to move them. Make sure we get that overflow tube hooked up. Alright, now let's go ahead and fill it up with some coolant. I'm just reusing the same stuff I had in there because it's not that old. So now what we need to do is make sure our overflow is full still, and that is full. Alright guys, so that's it. Got the car started, went through and checked for leaks. I have no leaks. A little bit of coolant is from when I filled it up. We are good to go. Alright guys, so that's it for this 2003 Nissan Sentra. We replaced the radiator, just over 60 bucks. Reused the old coolant because it was fairly new. It'll take you maybe 25 minutes, 30 minutes to do the whole job. Not too bad. So if you got a coolant leak, JB Weld will get you through until you get your radiator. So it's not a fix-all. New radiator is. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share this to your friends. Thank you.